As a kid, I used to watch those weird YouTube videos of certain things from Minecraft in real life. Like, have you ever wondered what an Enderman looks like in real life? Or a ghast? Or a pig? You know, all very interesting things. But what if we had Minecraft items in real life? What would be the best additions to our everyday lives, and what would be the worst? That's what I'll be finding out today. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Minecraft items in real life tier list. I have pretty much every item in the game, not including things that are already in real life, because that would be kind of boring. With S being legit the most useful thing ever, and D being, why would you want this? Starting off with our first item, we have the Bottle of Enchanting. It is a bottle of XP, which actually I didn't even think about XP. What would it do? I mean, that implies there's enchanting, but it's not that great because, you know, you have to break it to use it. So, I don't know. Right off the bat, this one, I don't really see a use for this one. All right, the End Crystal. This is just a really cool looking item. When you place it down, it like floats. So imagine you have like this really cool floating thing on your desk. Just don't touch it because like, it's explosive. The Ender Pearl. This is huge. It's just teleportation, right? You just throw it where you want and you appear there. You just gotta be really careful of where you throw it because you just don't want to mess it up. Like, you know, there's so many times in the game where you would throw it and it hits the side of like an end island and you fall into the void. So you don't want to do that sort of thing in real life. And as a little bonus, there's a chance it spawns a little bug. You can have a little bug guy be your friend. So this one is absolutely huge. So it's the first legit the most useful thing ever. All right, the Eye of Ender. This is cool. I mean, when you throw it, it like goes up in the air and it floats for a bit. But the thing is it leads to a structure that doesn't exist in real life. So you have a thing that opens the end, but the end doesn't exist in real life. So like if we're thinking of just the item by itself, and also it has a chance of it breaking. So that's not great either. So this one's like kind of just mid. Probably B tier. This next one's pretty solid. A fire charge. I mean, if you think about it, it's a really handy tool, you know? You can start a fire quickly wherever you want. You just like throw it down and there's a fire there. So it's great for like camping. So I'd say this one's like an A. All right, the glow berries. This just seems like a fun thing to have. You can have a fruit that glows and you can eat it. Like imagine juicing it and you just have like glowing juice. That sounds pretty awesome to me. That one probably goes in B tier. Potions. We're not going to specify what kinds of potions, you know, because that would take too long. But depending on the potion, they could be really useful, like healing or night vision or invisibility. But they could also be really not useful, like poison or harming or weakness. But like I could see this being a really useful thing in real life because obviously what a potion does is just gives you an effect, right? There'd probably be like athletes being banned for using potions of strength or something, PEDs type of thing. This is another S tier. Look at that. All right, Netherwart. Who hasn't played Minecraft and just thought that they wanted Netherwart in real life? This is like, I don't know. I guess it would go to potion making, but I don't know why you'd want this. The Trident. This is one of the coolest items in Minecraft. So, I mean, it's kind of just as useful as any other weapon in real life, except, you know, you can throw this one and it might even come back to you, but it's just like cool to have. So I'd say this is an A tier. Torch flower seeds. You could plant some flowers. C tier. The wind charge. Okay, this would be awesome. It would be so cool to just like throw this at your feet and you just kind of launch a little bit. But like imagine like a sport with wind charges, like, you know, like the long jump in like the Olympics. You could do that, but it allows wind charges. They should do that. That's going in A tier. Next is the chorus fruit. This would kind of be terrifying. Imagine you have a fruit, and if you eat it, you get teleported to a random place, and you just don't know where you are. Like, if I'm gonna teleport, I wanna know where I'm going. That's why the Ender Pearl is good. Not some random place after you eat a fruit. That's going in D. That's, why would you want that? The debug stick. This one's really cool. You poke something, and it can shift the reality of, like, a thing. Like, it can rotate something, or it can change the state of it. Like imagine if you're like a set designer and you need a microwave that's like on. This is just a random example. But you need like a microwave that's on in like the set. You could just kind of touch it with this stick and it'll be on all the time. You can do that with any object. This is S tier. This is awesome. Back to back really good ones. This next one, the Elytra. I mean, if you think about it, we kind of already have this with like those like crazy like wingsuit things that like Red Bull does with their ads. It's like one of those, but it can be like propelled with like fireworks. You can go up with it. You don't have to just rely on like wind and going down. So like imagine if you like lived in a city and you worked in a skyscraper, you could just jump out the window and glide home to like your apartment. That goes in S tier as well. Next is enchanted books. Being able to enchant stuff in real life would be pretty cool, but most enchantments are kind of just like things for combat, and I don't know about you, but I'm not fighting people very often. But there's some, you know, you could put like luring on a fishing rod. That's helpful, right? But I don't know, like I feel like most of them would not be useful at all in day-to-day life. You could put sharpness on your kitchen knife. You could put protection on like your shirt. That one probably goes in B tier. All right, next up is the enchanted golden apple. Obviously this is an S tier because it's just an apple that heals you and fixes you, and you know, scientists could like study it to find new medicines. Maybe the cure for cancer is an enchanted golden apple. And then a normal golden apple, you know, it's just the same thing as an enchanted golden apple. But it's like the budget version, right? It's kind of like the kind you would find in like a drugstore, you know, like the more common version. It's still useful. It's just more common. Anyway, yeah, a normal golden apple is still S tier. The glow ink sac, at first, you know, doesn't seem great, but if you think about it, you can write glowing text on stuff. It'd be like a highlighter, I guess, but like it actually emits light. I'll give that a C. The knowledge book. I actually have never used the knowledge book in Minecraft before, so I'm kind of guessing its use right now. I'm sure it's like for crafting recipes. So I'd say this one is like an instruction manual for like anything in the world. If you have a knowledge book and you want to know how to make a very specific thing, just look it up in the knowledge book. I'd say that's A tier. Netherite. This one's interesting. I don't know how valuable netherite would be to like the average person, but it would be great for, you know, manufacturers to make stronger things. I'm sure it'd be like a rare resource, so I'll put that in A. The ominous bottle. It kind of just makes you ominous. D. The trial key. You kind of just own a mysterious key, so probably also D. The spectral arrow. Like, I'm sure it would be super useful for like hunters. I'm not a hunter, but I mean, if you need help tracking down your prey, you wouldn't need like a dog to do it for you anymore. You could just use your spectral arrow and it like is outlined for you and you can see where it is. That's pretty cool. I'd put that in A. All right, this is probably the most useful item on the list. Let's be real. The totem of undying. It prevents you from dying and it makes you feel better than before you died. I'd say that's pretty good. So that's also one of the most useful items ever, if that was real. A blaze rod. It's probably just like warm. If it's hot, it could maybe start a fire, maybe even a replacement for a fire. That's cool. That's neat. B tier. And then a breeze rod. I don't know what a breeze rod would do. Maybe it would be cold, like the opposite of a blaze rod, but the breeze rod doesn't seem as useful to me. So C tier. Dragon's breath. This one is interesting. If you think about it, it would be like some special rare item that would be sold at like auctions or something, because it's the breath of a dragon. It's kind of like something you just own for talking points. I could see this type of thing being on like Pawn Stars.
Okay.
What I got here is Dragon's Breath.
You a fighter?
Yeah, I killed a dragon for it.
I'm more of a lover myself, so.
This here is genuine Dragon's Breath that I got from killing the Ender Dragon from an alternate dimension. So I'd say it's worth at least $1 million.
So you just wait for him out in front of a hotel or something?
No, not quite. It's more like a floating island in the middle of space.
How much you want for it?
$1 million.
I'll give you 200.
B tier. The Echo Shard, probably be like a similar story with Echo Shards, just because they look like starry. They got like a little cool glint to them, you know? It's also probably B tier. A gas tier, a tier from an interdimensional being. It's a tier from a giant floating head interdimensional being. C tier. Glycerin melon. It's probably just like a normal watermelon, but with really good health benefits. That goes in A. Glowstone dust. This is for all my cave divers out there. We got any cave divers watching this? Like the video if you're a cave diver. You just like throw it on the ground, I guess, and it would light stuff up. So it'd be like cool little glowy powder. You can also use it as like a trail marker type thing, you know, if you don't want to get lost. You can use glowstone dust to get back to your car, you know, so you don't get lost in the middle of the woods. That could be useful, I think. B tier. Redstone. The world is always searching for an affordable, clean, stable energy source, and this would be the solution. It's an ore that generates power that isn't reactive. You find it in the ground. It's a powder. You can make a block. You can make a torch. You can make a repeater. You can make a comparator. Anyway, yeah. Sign me up. The future of power. That's an S tier. Heart of the Sea. You know, this is just like a crafting element to getting a conduit, but it is needed for a conduit. So it probably has some sort of cool ability that would be helpful. Maybe it like produces oxygen or something. Maybe it could be helpful for like scuba divers. This one's for all the scuba divers out there. We got any scuba divers in the chat? But yeah, I'd say this is probably really useful. I'll put this in A tier. The Nether Star. You know, this one's a little bit tricky because Nether Stars are only really useful when you make a beacon, but we're not talking about blocks. We're just talking about the Nether Star on its own. So it probably wouldn't have an actual use, but it is the type of item that if a community or a country saw you owning this, they would probably make you king. It's like King Arthur type of thing, you know, or like the Arkenstone from The Hobbit. It's just that sort of like powerful item that if you had it and people saw you having it, they'd probably take orders from you. I'm just saying. That's probably B tier. Phantom Membrane, I don't know. D tier, that's disgusting. Prismarine, that'd just be like a cool stone you'd find from the ocean. C tier. The Recovery Compass. Okay, I'm just saying, if this was real and it actually worked, that's kind of terrifying because it's used for finding loot after you die. If you think about it, the Recovery Compass could be really helpful to like detectives trying to find like a lost body or something. They could find the body with this compass. Dude, see, we're thinking deep in this video. The Shulker Shell, it's not a Shulker box because that's a block. It's just the shell, so it's just a shell. So D tier. The Slime Ball. C tier. And finally, spawn eggs. This is probably the second most useful thing on the list. You can spawn whatever animal or even a person if you want. I'd say that's pretty good. And if we're getting really deep into it, if you could find a spawn egg for that one chicken that's in Minecraft story mode that lays spawn eggs, then you have infinite spawn eggs for every single animal on Earth. So for the last item of the video, this is also an S tier. But anyway, yeah, that's been my awesome ranking of every not real item from Minecraft if it was in real life. I really hope you enjoyed this very weird and random video, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.